Hi, today I'd like to talk about sociopaths, uh, like J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin. They're all pretty much the same. They think they're infallible. They're out of touch with reality. They have no regard for society, and that's why psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers call them sociopaths. Um, there is one problem with that they have, and that's that they have enormous egos. I said they think they're infallible, and they have huge egos. And I'd like to take an example from history with Stalin and Hitler to indicate, a couple things. Not only that they have enormous egos, but they end up, stabbing each other in the back. Um, During World War II, Stalin and Hitler met, and they came up with a non-aggression pact, which was a really dumb thing for Stalin to do because, you know, he could see that Hitler wasn't somebody to trust after all the countries he had grabbed. And Hitler could, see that Stalin wasn't the kind of person that he could trust. I mean, he was a communist and the first communist, and that was the last thing in the world that Hitler was. So anyway, things were moving right along for Hitler until he came up against Great Britain. I mean, he was bombing London and preparing for an invasion, but Great Britain had better planes. They had Spitfires, and they just beat the crap out of the German Air Force, and Hitler wasn't able to invade England, Great Britain, and he lost face, and because of his enormous ego, he needed something to do. So uh, I would have waited a few months, and I mean, the rational thing to do would have been, to wait a few months. Not these things. These people did anything rational, really. But if he had waited a few months and rebuilt his air force, he probably could have changed the outcome of World War II. But anyway, he invaded Russia and he broke the pact, and Stalin, tripped on his ego, and Hitler tripped on his ego, and they ended up with a terrible war, called the Eastern Front. And uh, Russia was a huge country, the biggest area-wise in the world, and it's a very cold place, especially, the Moscow area where the heart of the country is. So, gold's been going up and silver for the last 10 years, despite what what these egomaniacs, sociopaths have done in Wall Street with the help of Washington, D.C. So, you know, they're fallible. They make mistakes. They don't admit them. Um, they have huge egos and they trip on them, and sooner or later they're going to trip up. And already the rest of the world is pretty much fed up with us. Russia and China don't use dollars to trade oil anymore. The rest of the world is pretty fed up with us, and they're beginning to catch on that there isn't much value left in the dollar, and it's certainly not worthy of being the world reserve. So, in the short term, things don't look too good, and it's Monday, and it's got me down. But in the long run, I think things will work out okay. Um, it's just that that was also true of World War II, and look at all the death and destruction that took place during World War II. So all I can say to people is hang in there, and I think that if you do what Max Kaiser suggests and buy silver, it might even be in gold. It might even be easier to hang in there because those two commodities seem to also be currencies, and they seem to be accepted all over the planet. And so hang in there, buy silver and gold, and you just might get by, and you'll definitely do better than people who don't buy silver and gold. So, you know. And also, it's going to help us to crash companies like J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs, and maybe take some of the other big bankers along with them, and eventually they just won't be able to print enough money to um, keep bailing themselves out and keep any credibility, and so they'll fail, and things will be horrible for a while. But they'll be a little horrible now if it continues the way it is, and the people, not just in the United States but all over the world, don't buy silver and gold. It's going to continue for a long, long time, and then it's going to be really bad before it gets good. So please help us crash J.P. Morgan. Buy silver. Thank you.